Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about 5 misconceptions of a foreigner about South Africa. So as I mentioned many times on my previous videos, I did came to South Africa 6 years ago. So my family moved here, we settled down here, and so far we are loving it. Let's close that one. But the first misconception about South Africa is South Africa is all dangerous and unsafe. Well, that is not true. I have never felt more safe in my life than being in South Africa. Like when I move around and to the mall or to other places, I never felt that uneasiness. People are friendly. One of the misconceptions as well is that people are wild, which I never experienced. They are very friendly towards me, and they just makes me feel safe in general. And I think when it comes to safety, it's always going to be concern of many people, and we have to understand that there's always going to have a crime everywhere you go. It's not just South Africa, but whole world actually. The second misconception is that it's just desert and wild animals. So my friend back home, when I told them that I am going to South Africa, I'm gonna settle down to South Africa, they were like, isn't it? It's just wild animals there? Are the lions walking around the streets? Or are there no roads or infrastructure? Which is, as I said, a common misconception. When they heard about the word Africa, automatically people think that it's just a jungle. But in reality, it is not. It's one of the most beautiful country I've ever been. It is well established. There's lots of malls, buildings, roads are done. Where I came from, it is South Africa is much more better. It is much more richer in a way that I couldn't explain. But people will always gonna have that certain mentality because South Africa is always going to be associated in the word Africa, and the whole world thinks that African country are generally poor, which I can tell you it is not always the case. But before we continue, I am going to have a burger because I'm hungry. I'm going to tell you a story while I am eating, actually. Here, I got Diego burger here. This is extra hot. So the third misconception is everyone speaks African language, but not English. That's not the case at all. Mostly people here generally speaks English. Wherever you go, they speak English, and which is good because you can easily understand people. I think it is very important. The fourth one is it's just sunny. It is sunny and hot. No, it can get very, very cold here in South Africa, especially if you're gonna go to Berg area, Cape Town, or Clarence. It can get very cold, and sometimes it can even snow. In Asian country, it's much more hot. In Asian country, I think the temperature can go right up to 40 degrees, which is way more hotter than South Africa. So that's just a misconception. Number 5 is the fifth misconception is that South Africa is poor and underdeveloped country. Which is, you all know, it's not the case. There's always a reason. There's always a reason why people move here. Why there's lots of foreigner move in South Africa. Life here, especially if you got money, is one of the most beautiful lifestyle you can ever have. If you got money, you can have your own worker, you can have someone to clean your own place, you can have you can pay someone to cut your grass. It's easy if you got money. This country is not poor itself. Yes, probably there's going to have a problem like crime, but in general, this country is, for me, well developed. If people only get a chance to see the country, I think they'll be shocked of how beautiful South Africa is. The infrastructure, the roads, yes, there's potholes here and there, but I've been to many places, I've been to many countries, but I think South Africa still is one of the best when it comes to that. And in addition, many people thinks that South African are xenophobic. But I can't speak about this literally. Like, I can't speak for all people. Because for me, I have never experienced where people is made me feel that they don't want me here or they don't like me or like I'm a problem being here in South Africa. They never did. Actually, all I ever felt here is the warmth of people. They're friendly, they're safe to be around, they're go getter, and I have never really experienced what they're talking about xenophobic. But then when I spoke this to this one person, he should work for us. He did tell us that South African people, especially the natives, are they have that hatred towards other native people, which obviously I cannot speak about because I said I never experienced. But in general, those misconceptions I talked about, it doesn't doesn't exist. There's burger in South Africa, you know. We don't eat stone here. We don't drink mud water. Currently, I'm sitting right in front of the most beautiful sea view right in front of me. It's a beautiful country. There's literally nothing wrong here aside from the. And don't even start me with the crime that it's dangerous. It is going to be dangerous everywhere you go. I know that. And if you're going to talk about corruption, who doesn't which government actually all over the world is not corrupt? There's always going to be corruption. Anyway, people move out here. They go overseas, UK or somewhere, but then they still come back because the lifestyle here is way better than what you actually think it is. Grass is not always greener on the other side. Grass is greener where you water it. I love this burger. That's it for today. Kindly comment down below. What's your thoughts about this? if do you want to hear more about common misconception about South Africa, there's only 5 things I can actually remember where they ask you silly things. Does do you have lion? Is it really dangerous? Or is it really a bad government? Those are just the basic that we talk about. But if you want to hear more, we can talk about more. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Bye!